Welcome to Parky Ring for the Munster Intermediate Hurling Championship Final 2004 between old rivals Cork and Tipperary. And of course, Cork, being the champions from last year, have had to completely rejig their side, completely new side on the field this year. But Cork, with such a depth of talent throughout the county, it shouldn't be any great problem for them to do this. And here come Tipperary. They'll be fired up against their old rivals Cork here tonight. And Tipperary supporters disappointed to hear that John Leahy won't be starting the game. His place is going to be taken by Declan Maher. But I can tell you that John Leahy is tagged out, so we could see him making an appearance at some stage of this game. I'm sure to the delight of Tipperary followers, if he'll actually come on at some stage. There you see him in shot number 15 as Cork go into their huddle before this particular game. Very impressive in the semi-final against Limerick, and they'll line out as follows. Anthony Nash is in goals, John Crowley, Liam Hayes and Rory McCarthy the full back line, Brendan Walsh, Timmy Lorden, Desi Fitzgerald the half line, Tyke Healy and Jonathan Olden in the centre of the field, Owen Conway, Darren Deneen, Paul McGrath the half forward line, and Colin O'Reilly, Rory O'Doherty and Seamus Hayes complete the Cork team. Tipperary, as I said, will show one change from the selected side. Number 25 Declan Maher will come in at left corner forward, and they line out as follows. Dermot Hogan in goals, Brian Lawler, Damien O'Brien and Michael Phelan the full back line, Shane Sweeney, Shane Maher and Evan Hanley the half line, Brian Hogan, Conor O'Brien the centre of the field, Pat Buckley, Tyke Slevin and Shane McGrath the half line, and Simon Everard, Brian Gaynor and Declan Maher the full forward line. Referee Pat Moore from Waterford, making sure that the half lines are behind the 65s. He's getting the game underway. Pat Buckley first into the action. Hand pass out to Evan Hanley, and Tipperary into the attack immediately. Brian Gaynor, 45 metres out. As far as Shane McGrath, it lands into the hand of Anthony Nash, and he clears it downfield. Well taken by Tipperary, and a drive in from about 50 metres out by Conor O'Brien has just gone outside the post and wide. Anthony Nash's puck out, broken down by Shane Maher. As far as Shane McGrath, little hand pass to the wing to Tyke Slevin inside the 45. Slevin having a go from there, and Tyke Slevin has opened the scoring for Tipperary with a good point from inside the 45 metre line and out on the sideline after that good pass from Shane McGrath. There's the hand pass from McGrath, and Slevin out near the touchline, firing it left-handed over the bar. Good start for Tipperary, and one has to say that they're playing with the aid of a very strong wind here in Parky Ring. Once more Pat Buckley into the action, hitting it low into the corner, but it runs all the way through to the Cork cornerback Rory McCarthy, and the barsman hooked, but at the second attempt clears it away. As far as Jonathan Alden, his shot blocked down. Shane McGrath taken out with a shoulder by Timmy Lorden, so it's a free into Tipperary. Shane McGrath in the thick of the action gave the pass to Tyke Slevin for the first score and was fouled there, so free to Tipperary from that foul on Shane McGrath. Brian Gaynor the free taker, just inside the 45 metre line, 15 metres in from the far sideline. And Gaynor driving it and making no mistake, so Tipperary inch their way into an early lead here, 2 points to no score after just 5 minutes of play. Big crowd here in Parky Ring for this intermediate final. Well taken by Tyke Healy. Healy going forward, kicking it into the corner, going as far as Seamus Hayes, out as far as Paul McGrath. There's a chop down on Paul McGrath. and that's a free in for Cork. Darren Dineen, their free taker. Dineen scored a goal and 5 points in the semi-final against Limerick, and he's extremely active from frees. This one straight over the bar, and he has opened Cork's account. So after 8 minutes of play, it's Tipperary 2 points, Cork a point. Jonathan Alden fired it as far as Paul McGrath. Paul McGrath rides the tackle and drives in the ball, and that's a very good point from Paul McGrath, now playing his club hurling in Blackrock. Good point from Paul McGrath, and he has tied the scores up here after 9 minutes of play. There it is from about 50 metres out. Paul McGrath. The ball into the corner to Simon Everard. Gets it at the second attempt. Everard pulled and dragged there by Desi Fitzgerald. Free in, says Pat Moore. We've had quite a few frees even in this opening 10 minutes of play, but this one has resulted in a Tipperary free, which is straight in front of the post. Brian Gaynor to hit it 35 metres out or thereabouts. Shooting into the Temple Hill, into the ground, and making no mistake, so Tipperary go ahead once again, 3 points to 2. Anthony Nash's puck out into the wind is a very long ball into that very strong wind. It breaks down to the Cork right half forward on Conway, and that's a very good point from Owen Conway. Conway picking up the loose ball from the puck out that was broken down there onto the left hand and straight over the bar. Good score for Cork, 3 points apiece in Parky Ring. Brendan Walsh breaking this down for Cork, but whipped into the centre. Going as far as Declan Maher, and Declan Maher, the substitute for Tipperary, gets a very good point from out on the sideline. Had to work hard to win that ball in the first place, and then from right on the touchline, outside the 45-metre line, that's a very good score from Declan Maher. Tyke Slevin tries to get it for Tipperary, but the ball eventually goes to Owen Conway. Firing this one in low, broken down and blocked there by Damien O'Brien. And the referee is calling for the ball here, and I think he's going to award the free to Cork, yes indeed. So, free to Cork from straight in front of the post. Darren Dineen to hit it. Dineen drives it hard but over the bar. Just for a moment I thought he was tempted to have a go at a goal there, but he hit it hard, but it went over the bar, so 4 points apiece. Shane McGrath hitting a good ball across field. Tyke Slevin tried to get onto it. Runs inside to Simon Everard. Beaten for the ball by Rory McCarthy, and Cork go back into the attack. Down as far as Rory O'Doherty. He's beaten for the ball. Owen Conway nips in there. Conway with the ball in his hand. 35 metres out, onto the left, and Owen Conway fires in his second point of the game. That's a very good score by Owen Conway. And Cork lead 5 points to 4. There turns onto the left hand and over the bar. Cork once again back in the attack. Darren Dineen, ball going down as far as Owen Conway into the corner to Seamus Hayes. Seamus Hayes, very quick player, but this one well blocked down by the cornerback Brian Lawler, and there's a resulting free there by Evan Hanley on the Cork player. So Pat Moore having to have a word and he's having the word actually with Shane Sweeney. So it's a free into Cork, and once again Darren Dineen making no mistake with this one. 6 points to 4, Cork lead, and there you can see the strength of the wind and Cork playing into it. They'll be delighted with the score as it stands at the moment. There's a great cut for Tipperary into the square to Brian Gaynor, and the referee says that Liam Hayes was holding his jersey, and so it's a free into Tipperary. Brian Gaynor putting this ball down. Tyke Slevin, I think, might fancy a go at this one, and you just get the feeling that he might go and try and blast this one. Tyke Slevin taking over the free taking duties from Brian Gaynor. Cork lined up, all prepared for this blaster, and Anthony Nash saves it, and the clearance is completed by Liam Hayes. Goes out as far as the right half forward, Pat Buckley, and he fires it outside the post and wide. So here's the free once again. There's Slevin driving it hard, and now Anthony Nash gets his hurley to it, and there's Liam Hayes lashing it out of defence. Pulled by Tyke Healy, goes as far as Tyke Slevin. Tyke Slevin, good ball in for Tipperary, and that's a very fine point by the centre forward. Good score from Tyke Slevin. Boris O'Kane man just leaving a point between the sides once again. On the run and over the bar. That's good hurling. Anthony Nash. This one lands in the centre. Timmy Lorden shortens the hurley and clips it away up the right hand side of the field, and there's a foul on Conway, so it's a free in, and Darren Dineen once again making his way over to hit this one. 40 metres out, 15 in from the sideline. Dineen drilling this one into the wind and straight over the bar once again, so Cork lead by 7 points to 5. 3 minutes to go to half time. Cork once again, Paul McGrath. Still Paul McGrath going through. He's on the 20-metre line, gets the hand pass to Seamus Hayes, and the referee has pulled back the play. Seamus Hayes actually hit the bar, but thought he should have maybe given the advantage there to Cork. Paul McGrath had wriggled his way in the centre, eventually got the pass off to Seamus Hayes, but the referee had blown the whistle, free into Cork. Darren Dineen once again. This looks an easy one. Would he be tempted to go low? He does, and is stopped on the goal line by the keeper, and it's double save there, this time by the fullback Damien O'Brien, and Tipperary scrambled away to safety by Michael Phelan. It was a great save by Dermot Hogan first, but Cork come back into the attack. Paul McGrath lofting this one in, and this one has gone outside the post and wide, so that'll give Tipperary a lot of heart in the run up to half time. Great save by Dermot Hogan, and Hogan tucking this one out. Well pulled in there by Brian Hogan.
Number 15.
Comes as far as John Lahey, who has just been introduced onto the Tipperary team, and with his very first touch of the game drives this one over the bar. So John Lahey enters the fray just before half time. First touch, picking this one up out in front of Liam Hayes and driving it over the bar. That's a very good point. As Pat Moore calls for the ball in the centre of the field, decides to throw this one in. Only wants 2 players there. Owen Conway first on the ball, going as far as Colin O'Reilly. Colin O'Reilly beaten to the ball there by Shane Maher. Referee blows the whistle. And he's going to award a free out, obviously, there to Tipperary. Cornerback Mike Phelan will take this one. Very near half time. Cork with a 1 point advantage. Phelan hits the free, and Pat Moore decides there's no more time in this first half. So at the break here in Parky Ring in the Munster Intermediate Final, it's Cork who lead Tipperary by 7 points to 6. Second half underway, and Tipperary forced to break away, but Tyke Healy for Cork breaking up the play, hooked along there by Dan Dineen in towards the corner, well taken by Michael Phelan. Good clearance by the Tipperary corner back, and I think the linesman has blown to, or has signalled that the ball was actually out over the line, so it's a line ball to Cork. Feeling unlucky there because he had done very well to get that clearance away, and Tyke Healy to take the sideline ball for Cork just inside the 45 metre line, cuts it across field. Paul McGrath onto the ball. McGrath driving this one in for Cork, and he has driven it over the bar. He scored one very good point in the first half, and he has scored Cork's first point in the second half and has put them 2 points ahead. Jonathan Alden with a great catch in the centre of the field. Still Alden, shortens the hurling, driving it up the centre. Again Michael Phelan doing very well, tipping that ball away, but the referee says that the centre back Shane Mahafold, Darren Dineen, is harsh enough free against the Tipperary centre back, but it has resulted in a Cork free straight in front of the post on the 45 metre line. Darren Dineen again. Been brilliantly accurate with frees in the first half against the wind. This is his first free with the wind, straight in front of the post. Same result, straight over the bar. So Cork open up a 3 point lead here in Parky Ring. Free to Cork. Desi Fitzgerald. Long free, dropping right in front of the post. Seamus Hayes keeps it in play as far as Colin O'Reilly. Colin O'Reilly dodging around and eventually getting it onto his right hand, and O'Reilly has hit another point for Cork. Colin O'Reilly. Seamus Hayes did a lot of good work keeping that ball in play, and O'Reilly, making a bit of space for himself, eventually swung it right-handed over the bar from just about the 30 metre line. Now up the centre, Declan Maher. Declan Maher onto the left hand, shot at a very poor one. Anthony Nash dashes from goal. Tyke Slevin tries to get away from him, and Nash completes the clearance. Goes as far as Dan Dineen firing in towards goal. Runs all the way through to the keeper, Dermot Hogan, and Dermot Hogan bursting his way out through the Cork players there. The referee has blown his whistle, and he's deemed that the goalkeeper took too many steps. He ran, absolutely tore out through the Cork players, but took an awful lot of steps in doing so. So free to Cork, Dan Dineen once again. He had a free from the 20 metre line the first half, straight in front of the post, and he decided to go for goal, and Dermot Hogan blocked it. Will he be tempted again? No, decides to take the sensible option and fire it over the bar and fire Cork 5 points ahead. Great catch in the centre of the field for Tipperary. And the referee says he's going to throw this one in. That was a great catch there by Brian Hogan. But the referee decides to throw this one in. Cork win the clash there in the centre of the field, going as far as Michael Phelan, playing really well at cornerback. Well taken by Jonathan Nolan in the centre of the field. As far as Dan Dineen 50 metres out, and Dan Dineen has hit his first point from play, but that's a great point by Dineen, whose free taking has been so good. But that shows what he's able to do from play as well. That's from about 55 metres out and straight over the bar. Cork beginning to assert as Shane Sweeney hits this free for Tipperary into the wind. Timmy Lordan's helmet falls off in the middle of that exchange, and the ball eventually going to the Tipperary sub Ronan O'Brien, and Ronan O'Brien hitting a good point for Tip. Ronan O'Brien has been introduced as right corner forward for Simon Everard, and that's Tip's first score of the second half. There's Ronan O'Brien hitting a good point off his left over the bar. Once again, it's Dan Dineen for Cork from outside the 65, and it seems as if no matter what the distance is, this man is going to be putting him over, and that's another point. That's 13 points for Cork, 7 points for Tipperary. Cork once again with Owen Conley. As far as Tykeel, good ball up the centre. As far as Colin O'Reilly turning onto the right hand, and O'Reilly has hit his second point of the game. Good score by Colin O'Reilly, one of two Blackrock players who started the game in the forward line for Cork. A little bit clumsy getting the ball into his hand, into his left hand, but succeeded in doing so and hit it over the bar. Another free to Cork. It's been a free-ridden game throughout, no great fluency in the play, as this ball lands right at the edge of the square and it hops over the bar. Colin O'Reilly went for it with Michael Phelan, nobody touched it, and Darren Dineen's free hops over the bar, lofted it very high, wind took it, it's going to drop, nobody touches it, and it goes over the bar. So eventually it's decided it's a 65 for Tipperary. Brian Hogan will take this one just to the right of the posts. Hogan sending it in, and that's a very good point by Brian Hogan over the bar. So 7 points between the sides. Cork 15, Tipperary 8, and Tipperary needing something dramatic to happen in the shape of a goal pretty quickly as Cork go into the attack once again. Tykeel is cut into the centre, taken by the centre back Shane Mahabut is possessed and goes to Colin O'Reilly, and Colin O'Reilly fires this one over the bar. That's his third point of the game, and Cork leads 16 points to 8. Colin O'Reilly picking up that ball and firing it over the bar. Brian Hogan once again in the centre of the field for Tipperary, but the ball goes to Paul McGrath. He gets his shoulder, but the referee has blown his whistle for a free for Cork. And this one, Desi Fitzgerald, the Charleville player, will take from inside his own half of the field. And really the game beginning to peter out, even though there's plenty of time left for Tipperary if they could get a goal to get back into the game. But Cork looking comfortable throughout the second half as Desi Fitzgerald fires this free down the centre, breaks in to the corner towards Seamus Hayes. Seamus Hayes getting past Brian Lawler and hitting it over the bar, even though Lawler did well to keep him outside him for as long as he could. But Seamus Hayes getting that ball, making a bit of an angle for himself, eventually gets that little bit of space and fires a good ball over the bar. Cork once again, Paul McGrath down the centre towards Seamus Hayes, goes towards Colin O'Reilly. Tipperary full back Damien O'Brien trying to get it away. Eventually Conor O'Brien is there for Tip, and now the centre back Shane Maher has played well at centre back. Up as far as Declan Maher tackled by two Cork players, fouled, the referee says, and Maher putting it down quickly. Tempted to drive it into the square early, but now decides to leave it altogether. Brian Hogan, the player who was facing up for this one, he hit his 65 over the bar just before this one, and there's his second point of the game. Brian Hogan has reduced the leeway to 8 points and a sideline to Tipperary. Ball as far as Hogan. Hogan firing this one into the centre. Ball breaks down, pulled on first time by Ronan O'Brien. Great save by Anthony Nash. O'Brien onto the ball again, and the referee says he was fouled. And again, not much of a foul there, I'd imagine, but the referee has blown and has decided this is a Tipperary free from the 20-metre line. There's the ball broken down by John Leahy. Ronan O'Brien pulls in the first time, and there's a great save from Anthony Nash. John Leahy to take the 20-metre line. No doubt what he's going to do with it, and drives it and is crept into the net off the hurley of Anthony Nash, and the goal that Tipperary wanted so badly they've got from John Leahy's 20-metre free. 17 points for Cork, 1-9 for Tipperary. Here comes the free from Leahy. Watch the flight of the ball as Anthony Nash goes to meet it. Somebody got a hurley in there, but it crept into the corner of the net, and so Tipperary get that goal, but it's Cork who come back into the attack immediately. Paul McGrath, still Paul McGrath gone back past Evan Handy, hand pass to the wing as far as Rory O'Doherty, and Rory O'Doherty with a Cork point immediately on top of that Tipperary goal. 18 points for Cork, 1-9 Tipperary. There's the run by Paul McGrath, the hand pass to O'Doherty, and O'Doherty making no mistake from outside the 20-metre line. An immediate response from Cork. Brian Hogan firing the ball upfield as far as Tyke Slevin. Tyke Slevin and Liam Hayes battling for it. Hayes gets a hurley to it, goes as far as Declan Maher. Maher tried to make his way in along the end line. Hit it low, cross goal, goes as far as John Leahy, but a great bit of stealing there by Brendan Walsh, the Cork right half back, just picking away from John Leahy. There's the ball blocked out. Leahy tries to control it, and there's Brendan Walsh. Tyke Slevin into the centre as far as Shane McGrath. Still Shane McGrath trying to work his way through. The ball blocked off the stick of the Cork cornerback Rory McCarthy. 65 for Tipperary, and Tipperary trying really hard to force another goal right at the end of this game. Conor O'Brien to take the 65, lobbing it in, but well taken in there by the Cork defence, and the referee Pat Moore says that's the end of the action. So at the end of a game that never rose to any great heights, it's Cork who are the Munster Intermediate Hurling Champions for 2004 on a scoreline of Cork 18 points, Tipperary 1 goal and 9. The cup now being presented to the Cork captain, the Bride Rovers man, Brendan Walsh.
Cork, of course, are the reigning All-Ireland champions, and from a provincial perspective they won the Munster title on no fewer than 9 occasions, beginning in 1964, and the last of those secured just a short few weeks ago. Antrim, well, from their perspective today, they will not be at full strength, and they have many positional switches and indeed changes in personnel in their side as well, that which claimed the Ulster title some few weeks back. The teams have met previously on 2 occasions at the semi-final stage, Cork winning both back in 1967, 4-6 to 2-6, and again in 69, 4-16 to 4 goals and 5. The Cork team, Liam Hayes operates at full-back, Brendan Walsh, Timmy Lorden and Desi Fitzgerald the half-backs, Tyke Healy and Jonathan Olden are at midfield, Darren Deneen leads the attack, and Rory Doherty of Ballincollig will operate in the full-forward position. Now the Antrim team, many changes for them. Norris Murray does play at right full back. Thomas Style commands the centre back berth. Ewan McKillop, a useful player at midfield. Paul Donnelly is at centre forward, and Paddy Cunningham, one of their main men, he will operate in the right full forward position for Antrim. So not long now to go to the start of the game. Wexford man John Kelly is in charge of this. Michael Gettins, of course, in at the start alongside Declan McKillop at midfield there for Antrim. Ball spills away loose, and it's McKillop trying to add to it. Ty Healy putting in a challenge. Cork getting it away with Desi Fitzgerald. And dispossessed below there, Norris Murray doing well, bringing play to midfield. Cork now setting up an early attack. Owen Conway stroking this one towards the goal. It dropped a little bit short and almost getting in at the end of it. It looked as if it was John Russell as we see it again. Yes, Russell unable to get a touch to it, and the goalkeeper happy to see it out over the in-line. The referee has spotted this infringement, and so it's an early opportunity here for Antrim to claim first point. No great surprise in that it's Paddy Cunningham that's taking this one, the player from the Love Darroch club. Could be within his range, although it's a fairly difficult angle, way over, almost on that far touchline. Paddy Cunningham, so lining up for this one, dropping it in towards the goal, and it is there, you know. A little bit slow in giving the call, but Antrim collects the first point of the afternoon. Antrim goal buck out here is with PJ McMullen. Lands it towards midfield. It's available for Cork, and pushing forward they are in search of the equaliser, Barry O'Dwyer. Really galloping his way through, 25 metres out from the goal, and he takes a lovely point. Barry O'Dwyer from Ballymartle ties up this match early on. As we have an opportunity to see it on the replay, Barry O'Dwyer, tasteful player, and a very tasty finish as well. That's away by Cork through Jonathan Olden, touched down by Jim McKernan. It's a long ball launched through towards the full forward line, and the Cork defence needed to be alert, none more so than Rory McCarthy. It's available behind now for Cork, and they've plenty of time to clear their lines with John Crowley stroking it down this near sideline. And it's available here for Darren Deneen, popping this one through towards his full forward line. Player available is the full forward, Rory Doherty. He's ghosting his way through, goal scoring chance, and he takes it. Rory Doherty, a goal for Cork, and a well taken score as well. As we have an opportunity now in just a moment to watch the replay of the goal. Lovely pass, in fairness, and credit big time Seamus Hayes. Rory Doherty going through, and he beat Norris Murray and also the Antrim goalkeeper PJ McMullen. Line ball is for Cork, which can now be cut forward, which it is by John Crowley. Brought down into the path here of Owen Conway. Right now Antrim and Brendan Quinn trying to find an avenue through. There wasn't one. This is Brendan Quinn as Antrim go in search of their second point. They've already scored from a free, and this is their second one that they've popped over the crossbar of Cork's goalkeeper Anthony Nash of Kinturk. 2 points between the teams. I think in fairness there may have been a little bit of a nudge there at midfield. Referee sees that and he penalises Michael Gettins. Cork to take the free through their centre forward Darren Deneen, more or less at halfway. Darren Deneen plays his club hurling in Cork with Ballinhassig. He'll pop this one surely in towards his front line of attack. Here comes the strike by Darren Deneen. It's drifting a little bit towards the left, breaks away into the path of Rory Doherty, and the ball spills away maybe into the path of Owen Conway. Conway has it for Cork, almost an impossible angle, throws it towards the fringe of the square. Antrim trying to get it away with Paul O'Donnell, not succeeding, and the referee has given a free, and it's a free in for the Munster champions in this intermediate hurling semi-final. A competition, of course, that was first introduced back in 1961. Cork with his free, Darren Deneen striking, and he scores as well. So the difference between them at the moment, 3 points. Cork the team with the advantage. And that goal by Rory Doherty proving very important. PJ McMullen resuming play for Antrim. Good deal of length in that goal delivery. Declan McKillop. McKillop now 50 yards out from the goal, and that is a smashing point. That is one of the best points we've seen in this match. Early days though, Declan McKillop. Here we have an opportunity to see it once again in slow motion. Declan McKillop taking his point very well, And a very timely boost for Antrim. Goal puck out taken by Anthony Nash. Or is this one towards midfield or thereabouts? Declan McKillop has it. And McKillop is away. Nice tasty ball through. And well, that was slipped through by Inda McGarry. Here's a chance for Antrim. Paul Donnelly, and that one has hit the target. Paul Donnelly. And Antrim are suddenly within striking distance because they trail by just a point. Here we see the score once more through the stick of Paul Donnelly, and a very well taken point of that. Ball drops high. Jim McKernan is there. He loses out. Maybe support there for Antrim, which there is. The midfielder, Declan McKillop. Nice ball, and that's away by Antrim as far as their attacking 45. Wonderful bring down. Can Antrim tie up the game here? The answer is yes. That is one hell of a point. Paddy Cunningham, level pegging at Parnell Park. Wonderful catch, and I mean wonderful. And a deadly finish as well. Antrim are living with Cork big time. The line ball is for Cork, pretty close to our commentary position. Back forward, Antrim deal with it with Michael Gettins, sends it through. Antrim have an opportunity here to take the lead score. Paddy Cunningham once more, and Antrim have hit the front. 6 points to Cork's 1 goal and 2, a point between the teams, and this man is certainly beginning to cause problems. Paddy Cunningham for the Cork defence. And do remember, this is an understrength Antrim selection. Paul Donnelly whipping on this one through the 45. John Crowley, or rather it's Rory McCarthy. McCarthy dropping this one through towards Rory Doherty territory. He leaves it for Owen Conway. There's an opening here. Conway shot, good save inside by PJ McMullen, but it's been followed up, and a goal for Cork. That's their second goal. Well, it was threatening for a little while. It's a second goal for Cork, and suddenly it's the Leesiders that are back in front. As we watch it again, Owen Conway having the shot, the goalkeeper making the save, and it was Rory Doherty that got there for his second goal and Cork's second goal of this match. Ty Healy laying it off inside towards Seamus Hayes. With him is Norris Murray. And Cork picking it up instead now with Barry O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer smacking it through. It's easily won by Declan McKillop, but then easily given away also. Darren Deneen for Cork onto the right side, his preferred side, and that is why, as the umpire reaches for the white flag. Suddenly the margin between them stands at 3 points. This the reason why. Darren Deneen working hard, putting it onto the right side and smacking it over the crossbar of PJ McMullen. It's a nice piece of feeling on the part of John Russell. Russell getting away here from Michael Gettins. Nice ball to the right. Darren Deneen is available, and Deneen lofts this one over the crossbar. Well, Darren Deneen is in the thick of everything that's positive about the Cork play in this opening half thus far. As Cork bring their tally on to 2 goals and 4 points. This their latest score courtesy of Darren Deneen, the centre forward. That's a long goal puck out by PJ McMullen. And it's Timmy Lorden that claims possession, but in the eyes of the referee from Wexford, he didn't win it all that fairly. And so we're going to have a free for Antrim, and an opportunity now for them to close the margin between themselves and the reigning All-Ireland champions Cork. Who else to take the free but Paddy Cunningham? Left-sided strike. Here he is. He's only 48 metres out from the goal or thereabouts, and that's a nice strike by Paddy Cunningham. Well, certainly Antrim are playing reasonably well in this match. They're now within 3 points as they bring their tally on to 7 points. Antrim's goal puck out taken by their goalkeeper PJ McMullen, and that was a challenge I think on Brendan Quinn by Cork's Brendan Walsh. The referee has seen that, and knew hardly needed as well by the Cork defender. Well, only for Antrim leaking those 2 goals, both of course coming from Rory Doherty, the situation could be much different here at Parnell Park. Right now though, it's Brendan Quinn. Should be fancying his chances from this sort of a range. Pops it in, it's going to be short, and Anthony Nash called into action, surprisingly so, back there on that last line of defence for Cork. Antrim claim it with Brendan Quinn. Quinn popping this one in, and that is a very good point. Brendan Quinn for Antrim. That's their 8th point. And in terms of scores, they've outscored Cork by 2, but of course the 2 goals doing all the damage. As we watch a rerun of the score there through Brendan Quinn. Available for a whole host of players. And in the end, it's Cork that managed to win possession and pop it invitingly down towards the right corner forward berth. Owen Conway is there, does well. He has it. Here's Owen Conway now going through, and he hits the side netting. Yeah, it's wide. Owen Conway, the Father O'Neill's clubman, having the goal scoring opportunity on that occasion, but he finds the side netting. Back with the play, so, and PJ McMullen has been kept busy. Here comes the Antrim goalkeeper. He really has a great delivery. Plenty of Cork shirts in there. And the referee says that I'm looking for the sliotar, as he's going to throw it in. John Kelly of Wexford tosses the ball through. Antrim with Daniel McKernan. We haven't seen a lot of him. This ball is being sent forward. Antrim have it, and away they go. It's Philip Kern. Kern going through, threatening for the goal. Kern, a goal! Philip Kern, a goal for Antrim. Now, Antrim, well, surprise packets they may be here today, but they do hold a 1-point lead. And we see the reason why now. Philip Kern going inside onto the 20, onto the 13. Good stick work. Low shot to the left of the goalkeeper, and a goal. And earlier, of course, at the other end, we see the missed opportunity by Owen Conway. Up with the play, and it's Seamus Hayes for Cork. Onto the right side. Dropping this one through towards his full forward line. Forced to come a long way out to try and involve themselves in it. John Russell needs support, has the support behind from Jonathan Olden, the midfielder. And that is very well done. The Inishkara man, Jonathan Olden, ties up proceedings at Parnell Park, and this the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Semi-Final of 2004. There's the rerun of the score through Jonathan Olden. Kilkenny, as we know, already through to the final. Ball touched down towards the middle of the pitch, whipped on. Cork lively, bringing play through towards Owen Conway. Conway rounding his opponent. Has to backtrack, he has it, low shot goes in, and a goal for Cork, Owen Conway. Well, he may have missed one earlier, but he makes amends. Cork 3-5, Antrim 1-8. Here we see it, Owen Conway. Seamus Reid was there as well, the defender on duty for Antrim. Conway was forced to go back, he won it, and the shot went in, and the goalkeeper beaten, PJ McMullen. Cork with his free. Darren Deneen sending it in. Keeper makes the call, and a loud call it was also by PJ McMullen. His clearance away towards the middle of the pitch. Excellent feeling by Ty Healy. Healy onto the right boot, sends it through. Advantage Cork. John Russell. Russell onto the left side, stroking it delightfully over the crossbar. John Russell, he'll be pleased with that. So too will the Cork supporters as we rapidly approach half-time. And that is the half-time whistle at Parnell Park, and at the interval it's Cork that lead Antrim. Still though, 30 minutes to go. The half-time score here reads Cork 3-6, Antrim 1-8. Referee so about to get the second half underway. Niall Gillen playing alongside Michael Gettins at midfield for the second half with Antrim. Cork in defensive mood straight away, and popping this one down the left wing, and there is Barry O'Dwyer going inside Jim McKernan, and there was a late challenge by McKernan on O'Dwyer. The referee is indicating that he's going to take some action here. Jim McKernan, the defender that's in a spot of bother here with our match referee. So I think we could well see a yellow card here for the Antrim number 7, as Barry O'Dwyer receives some attention there from the medical personnel with the Cork team. Expect the yellow card, and oh, it's red. He is gone. Jim McKernan has been sent off. A real disaster for Antrim in the opening stages of this second half. Here we see it again. Did he deserve red? Well, it was a deliberate strike with the hurley, but I've seen other incidents go unpunished in terms of the severity at least. And that one has been sent in by Darren Deneen. It's left and wide though. And there is Jim McKernan. A devastating blow for Antrim. It'll be a major talking point afterwards whether or not he should have been sent off. Cork sending it forward with Brendan Walsh. Ty Keeley is looking for it. It's behind, it's Jonathan Olden. Olden sending a long ball through towards his full forward line. The goalkeeper is beaten. The ball breaks loose. Can they get it in? They can. Owen Conway, they worked deadly hard to get the goal, but Cork have claimed a goal, and this is a very profitable spell for them. We'll have an opportunity to see it once again. Ball dropped in. Seamus Hayes couldn't really connect with it. Then it broke outside to Conway, and it was only at the second time of asking that he managed to dribble the ball over the goal line despite the best effort behind of Norris Murray. Cork in possession, forced to backtrack there. It's Barry O'Dwyer, and an Antrim player is down. That looks as if it's Michael Gettins. The referee now speaking with the St Finbarr's cornerback. That's Rory McCarthy. I think he's going to take some action here. I've already seen a red card. This is unlikely to be red though. Well, what will be the punishment handed out to the Bar's defender on this Cork side? Seems to be the best of friends, the referee and the cornerback. Well, they mightn't be all the best of friends after this. A yellow card though, as Antrim introduce a substitute in the course of this second half. Looks as if it's Joey Scullion that's gone on, by the way. Back with the play in a free for Antrim. Paddy Cunningham, will he drop it short? No, he's going for the score himself. Can he pop it inside? He can. It's inside that right and upright. A point for Antrim. That brings them on to a goal and 9. Still, there's a big gap between themselves and Cork. Jonathan Olden inside as far as the 45. Nice ball laid off here. He has plenty of time. Who? Barry O'Dwyer, the player in question, of course. As he tosses it over the crossbar, the Ballymartle player. Lovely ball through, in fairness, to Barry O'Dwyer. And he had plenty of time to send it over the crossbar of PJ McMullen. And the referee has awarded the free, and that free is in for Antrim. Cork's Tyg Burke policing his opponent too tightly in the eyes of the match referee. Antrim free and Paddy Cunningham. Anthony Nash issuing the instructions back there on the goal line, but there's no need, I don't think, because this one is being sent over the crossbar by Paddy Cunningham. 13 points now for Antrim, and that means there are 6 points between the reigning All-Ireland champions and the challengers to that thrown here at the semi-final stage. Antrim now upward playing. It's Rory Doherty getting in a feeble enough shot. He couldn't connect as he would have wished, and the ball goes harmlessly out over the end line and wide. He's done well already, has Rory Doherty, with his 2 opening half goals. As we focus now on the Antrim goalkeeper, sending the ball back into play. That's PJ McMullen. Go towards the stand side of the ground. That's a line ball for Antrim. And Brendan Quinn is quickly over there, as is Michael Gettins. And it's going to be Brendan Quinn from the Gortnamona club that's going to cut this one forward. And play just been stopped for a moment or two. Here comes the ball sent forward. And it's available for Cork, and if it is, it's John Russell whips it downfield. And that's aimed at Owen Conway. Antrim have a couple of defenders back there on duty. One of those happens to be Justin McGarry. He now finds himself under pressure, as does Joey Scullion. Cork's second half replacement, Pat Deneen, has it. Deneen, good vision here to spot John Russell. He is under pressure now. 2 or 3 Antrim players there, and they lose it, would you believe? Cork have it now, and Tyg Burke. Tyg Burke stroking this one forward. Opportunity beckons here for Cork with Rory Doherty. Doherty going through onto the 20. Is he manoeuvring his way through for a goal? He chips it in, but it's Well claimed inside by PJ McMullen. Gets it away. Out towards the middle of the field or thereabouts. Timmy Lorton handles this one well. And it's going to be a free. Here we see the chance again. Rory Doherty, he was trying to do, well, a real cheeky one and lob the goalkeeper, but PJ McMullen was having none of it. Barry O'Dwyer is onto it here for Cork. The advantage rule has been applied, and what is the end result? It's a lovely point for Barry O'Dwyer. Well, Cork certainly the dominant team in this second half. Ball pretty closely far sideline. Linesman hesitated for a moment or two, and play being allowed to continue. A couple of brave challenges going in. Eventually it's Cork and Desi Fitzgerald through towards his full forward line. And Owen Conway flicking it into the path of Seamus Hayes. Good block by the goalkeeper PJ McMullen. And McMullen onto his right side, and he gets it away towards halfway. Cork are onto it, and Desi Fitzgerald, well, he went high and he came down. Here we see the opportunity of the goal for Cork denied was Seamus Hayes by the nice playing goal for Antrim by PJ McMullen. Meanwhile back here now with the action, and it's a Cork free. Desi Fitzgerald. Here's Desi landing it in. Lovely point. Desi Fitzgerald, he'll be pleased with that score. It's his first point of the afternoon. Well, then again, you don't expect to be on the score sheet really when you're a half back. It's available once more for Cork and Barry O'Dwyer. Challenge going in there by Norris Murray. Sent forward for Antrim by Daniel McKernan. Antrim claim possession as well. A couple of players available. Brendan Quinn though is now looking for those players and really spreading it towards the left side of the attack. Paddy Cunningham. It's goals that Antrim need right now. Here's Paddy Cunningham. He'll have to settle for a point this time though. That's Antrim onto 1 goal and 11. But they really need goals. Here we see the point again. Paddy Cunningham and onto the left side, and the Cork defence happy just to have leaked a point on that occasion. Antrim gathering possession, well, at least attempting to do so. This one battered through towards Paddy Cunningham. He's everywhere. Here's Paddy Cunningham now onto the left side, driving it across the goal and really driving it across. This will probably reach the far sideline or thereabouts. Brendan Quinn keeps it in. Good play by Quinn. Quinn stroking it forward. And that one has been blocked, and the Cork defence are doing well. This one pops through as the All-Ireland champions go in search of further scores. Something may come of this. It's Owen Conway. Conway again. The advantage has been played. Conway way towards the right. Goal scoring chance, and it's taken by Padanine of Mallow. Padanine, a goal for Cork. It's their 5th of the match. Conway, very unselfish play by him, spotting the free man on the right side of the small square, and bang, goal by Padanine. Brought down, not cleanly though, and Antrim, well, they have been dispossessed themselves, and in the end it's left to Rory McCarthy. McCarthy shoving this ball forward towards the middle of the field or thereabouts. Here's the goal scorer of late, Padanine, chipping it forward. Cork now with the advantage. It's Tyg Healy. Healy popping it towards the goal. It's there. That's a very good score by Tyg Healy. And, well, for a while out now, Cork have had the winning look about them. And when you have players like that capable of picking up big scores, it gives you the winning feeling also. Antrim trying to respond. Blinding save inside by Anthony Nash at the expense of a 65. Well, we have an opportunity to see this one once again. His cousin, of course, Albert Shanahan, plays in goals with the Limerick senior team. This is the 65 for Antrim, stroked forward. They're going for a goal. Here's the shot, drilled in, and a goal. Brendan Quinn, the player getting the late consolation goal as it is now for Antrim. Good goal though. And there was power behind it. Look at all the players the ball beat to wind up in the back of the net. Anthony Nash with the goal puck out. That is the last piece of action of this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling semi-final. It's Cork, the reigning champions, through to play Kilkenny in the 2004 final, and again to be played most likely next weekend with Thurles as a very likely venue. Final scoreline: Cork 5-10, Antrim 2-11. Well, the Cork supporters here in Thurles this afternoon will be hoping for better luck with their intermediate hurling team as they bid for back-to-back All-Ireland titles. But standing in their path is this Kilkenny team, looking for a first title, would you believe, at this grade since 1973. Seamus Roach of Tipperary is the match referee in charge of this game this afternoon, as we have an opportunity now to look at the teams, beginning with Cork, who have Anthony Nash of Kinturk in goal, John Crowley, Liam Hayes and Rory McCarthy the full back line. At midfield it's Ty Healy and Jonathan Olden. John Deneen has been chosen at centre forward, and the full forward line for Cork is that of Owen Conway, Rory Doherty and Seamus Hayes. Well, last year we had a thrilling match involving Kilkenny and Cork. Let's hope we have more of the same in Thurles today. Kilkenny team: Shane Lanigan, good Kilkenny name, plays at full back. John Tennyson, John Costello and John O'Neill the half back selected. Richie Power and Colin Herity are at midfield. Peter Clear is at centre forward, and the full forward line for Kilkenny today is that of Michael Grace, Jamie Power and Diarmuid Mackey. It's David Buggy of Erin's Own at right half forward that captains the Kilkenny team. So not long now to go to the start of the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final of 2004. It's Cork and Kilkenny. The reigning All-Ireland champions playing right to left in the first 30 minutes of this game. Barry O'Dwyer, early possession for him. It's with Owen Conway. Shot smothered. It's Paul Costello that picks it up for Kilkenny, smacking this one forward in the driving rain, as you can see. And Cork regained possession and bring play towards the middle of the park. John Russell surrounded by Kilkenny players, and it's a free for the Cats. It really is a horrible afternoon for a sporting fixture. These teams won't mind though if they manage an All-Ireland success here this afternoon. Free for Kilkenny. Here it comes. Launched in, the breeze holding it up well short of that 20-metre line. Jamie Power is over onto it quickly for Kilkenny. Jamie Power sending it through all on his own. There's a chance and it's wide. Well, I'm not so sure did Anthony Nash know much about that, but it was an early goal scoring chance for Kilkenny which was not availed of. Watch it again. Well, I think Peter Clear knows that he should have done better. Cork in possession, and Jonathan Olden, lovely hurler, sending it through towards Seamus Hayes, who is now getting an avenue, finding that avenue. Nice ball to Rory Doherty. Bang! Oh, what a save! That is one hell of a save by Richard O'Neill. Well, we could have had goals already at either end. Now it's smacked in and over by Rory Doherty. Well, Kilkenny could well have had a goal, so too could Cork. But they do manage a point. Watch it again, Rory Doherty, but look at this. That is an incredible save. Brilliant. Here we see the follow-up play. Hooked from behind, and Cork doing well. The point scored by the Ballincollig man, Rory Doherty. Ball touched away towards this near sideline. It's Ty Healy in possession. Healy sending a long ball through. And a little bit hesitant once again, the Kilkenny defence. Here's an opportunity. It's with Seamus Hayes. Shortens the grip and picks off a nice point. Cork to the good by 2 points. The Courcy Rovers corner forward chipping in with that latest point for the Munster champions and of course the reigning All-Ireland champions. Seamus Hayes onto the left, and that is a very good point. The delivery over towards the new stand side of the pitch. And the ball not willing to come loose just yet. Cork though emerging with it, and it's Darren Deneen working hard to hold on to it ahead of the challenge by Brian Phelan. Down the same side of the ground. The advantage here is with Rory Doherty already on the score sheet. Ball sprayed towards John Russell. Russell moved back a yard or two, and it was worth that step back because Cork collects their third point. There's Rory Doherty giving a nice ball towards the player available, and that was a good point. The free for Kilkenny is more or less exactly at halfway, as the Cats go in search of their first point of the afternoon. Here comes the effort against the breeze that's hanging. It's also drifting towards the right, and it's knocked away by Rory McCarthy. Kilkenny have play has come out as far as Diarmuid Mackey. Before it did, in fairness, the referee from Tipperary, Seamus Roach, had blown. And so Kilkenny have a very good chance here to pick off their first point. I wonder what they think about going for a goal. The captain, of course, is in possession. It's David Buggy, the regular free taker for them. Here's David Buggy. No, he's going for the point. Sensible thing to do early on in this tie. That's Kilkenny's first point. Long ball soon. It bypasses a lot of players. Oh, another incredible save by Richard O'Neill. Seamus Hayes denied. This man is some operator in goal for Kilkenny. Richard O'Neill. Look at this. Gilt-edged opportunity for Seamus Hayes. How did he save it? Richard O'Neill. Back outfield now with this 65 for Cork. That's directed in, and it's found the target with plenty to spare. So Cork have a 3-point lead now, courtesy of Desi Fitzgerald's score. Out around the middle of the pitch. A little bit of fumbling, and Cork do win a free with Jonathan Olden. Once more, it's Daisy Fitzgerald that's been pushed forward into action. Here's Desi, so no great hurry to take this one. Should possibly be within his range, and certainly as far as the full forward line, he's going for it, and that's a massive point. Desi Fitzgerald. They are two big scores, stroked over by the left half back. Richard O'Neill resuming play for Kilkenny. Cork winning everything back there in their defence and doing very well. Claimed by Kilkenny and Chris O'Neill. Pushing forward, it's John Tennyson. Tennyson releasing this one inside and gathered by Cork's Timmy Lorden. Lorden bringing play towards the far sideline, and Owen Conway. Conway doing well despite the presence of Paul Costello. And that's touched down from the, well, just beneath the crossbar, and followed up a goal for Cork. Well, you can't fault Richard O'Neill, really. It's a goal for Cork, as we'll have an opportunity to see it once again. Rory Doherty claiming the credit. Broke down. Barry O'Dwyer touched it in, and then to finish it home, it's Rory Doherty. Well, this is a very good first half performance by Cork. Nice ball by Barry O'Dwyer to a supporting player, and that one has been popped over the crossbar. Yes, it's been a very profitable spell in this match for Cork, who, well, have built up a significant lead, 1-6 to a point. As we have an opportunity to see the score once again, and a very well taken point. The far sideline, it's Kilkenny. They need to do something really, as they sweep forward and stroke this one through. But again, the Cork defence are equal to anything that's been thrown at them so far. Perhaps I've spoken too soon. as Cork find themselves under a lot of pressure with Rory McCarthy. He's lost out. Here's Jamie Power. Power needing to get rid of it. He does. And Kilkenny, well, they have support now with Brian Phelan. Phelan onto the left, dropping it down and measured to perfection. The Clara man, Brian Phelan, with Kilkenny's second point only of this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. 7 separating the teams. As we watch the score once again coming, as it does, from the stick of Brian Phelan. It's an important strike here now for Kilkenny, just to keep themselves within, well, modest distance really of this rampant Cork team. Here comes the free, dropping in, and that's bang on target. Kilkenny move on to 3 points. They'll be pleased with that score. Colin Hershey, the midfielder, with a score, by the way. Up with play, and it's Cork in possession. They earn a free. The referee up there with play. It's Seamus Roach, of course, of Tipperary, that's taking charge of this final this afternoon. As Cork have this wonderful opportunity now to extend their lead over Kilkenny. 31 years ago, would you believe, Kilkenny won their last All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling title at Wexford Park. They beat London 5-15 to 2-9. Cork winners in Thurles last year, 121 to Kilkenny's 23 points after extra time. Before that, they previously won against Galway back in '97 as Cork pick off an important point. Well, there's never going to be much of a problem here from that sort of a range. 7 points once again separating the teams. That's a good delivery. Just hearing that there's to be 1 minute of additional time at the end of this first half. Play now sweeps into Cork's path, and Desi Fitzgerald just to ground. And the referee has his notebook out here. One of the Kilkenny players could be in a spot of bother with our match official. And when play does resume, it'll be Desi Fitzgerald himself fouled. That'll be lining up to take this free. Yellow card, by the way, to Brian Phelan on the Kilkenny team. Here's Desi Fitzgerald once more. Desi, I'm sure, will fancy his chances from this sort of a range. He's already landed a few big ones, and that is going to be another one. Desi Fitzgerald from that sort of a range, he is absolutely deadly. Yeah, there's a big gap between them at the moment, but remember, there is a significant breeze, and Kilkenny will have that in their favour in the second half. The Cats gathering possession behind. That's out of the Cork defender, Desi Fitzgerald. Line ball for Kilkenny. So a sideline cut to be knocked forward for Kilkenny. Richie Power stroking it way over towards the far side and way over the head of Peter Clear towards Diarmuid Mackey. John Crowley. Crowley and Mackey colliding. Here comes the defender, Johnny Crowley, and with that, it's the half-time whistle that we're hearing from the referee, Seamus Roach. Half-time in the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final of 2004 in Thurles, and the score in favour of Cork against Kilkenny reads 1-8 to 3 points. The scene is set so here at Semple Stadium for the commencement of the second half. Kilkenny, the team with their work cut out if they're to trouble Cork for this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling title. John Crowley away. It's away towards the right. Opportunity here for Richie Power. Kilkenny back. Support available, and that is well, a bad miss really for Kilkenny at the outset of this second half. Back with the action. Here comes the goal strike now by Anthony Nash, launching this one towards the middle of the field or thereabouts. And Cork get a vital touch to it to bring play inside. The advantage is with Owen Conway. Conway laying it off to the left. It's Barry O'Dwyer that's available. O'Dwyer as far as the fringe of the square. A goal! John Russell! A goal for Cork. That is one great goal. Well, we'll have an opportunity to see it once again. It looks as if it's John Russell that gets the final touch to it. Barry O'Dwyer surely was going for the point, but look at that. Met in the air. Wonderful goal by John Russell. Well, it's looking very good for Cork, but still there's a long journey left here in Thurles. Barry O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer slipping it through. The referee's whistle has sounded. And that must have been a late challenge. Didn't quite see what happened. John Costello, anyhow, the centre-back that's having his name noted here by Seamus Roach. John Costello, and that's another yellow card. Ryan Phelan, of course, we saw earlier a yellow carded also. Barry O'Dwyer of Ballymurtle, the player that's down on the deck. Here we see it again now. It was touch and go, but yellow card nonetheless. So the medical people can make their safe passage towards this near sideline and play to resume with free for Cork and Darndineen. So Darndineen standing over this one, looking to increase Cork's already substantial lead against Kilkenny. That one has been popped in and it's there. The white flag has been raised. And now look at the margin between them. It's quite significant at 12 points. Kilkenny, would you believe, have only 3 points to their credit. This is so unlike Kilkenny. That one has been blocked down by Cork's Timmy Lorden. Well, did well to hold his footing on a sometimes slippy pitch. Cork have possession at midfield. And that's another free. Kilkenny's John O'Neill fouling. And the extra few yards have been awarded, so it makes the task of the Cork free taker all the easier. Player fouled, Darndineen, the player to strike, likely to be Darndineen as well. This would put 13 points between them. Surely the sort of a match-winning lead. Here it comes, the free. And that has been hit beautifully over the crossbar. Cork have the winning look about them. 2-10 to 3 points the lead. Play at the far sideline, kept alive over there by Michael Grace, a player we haven't seen all that much of. And Cork trying to sweep it away, not successfully on this occasion. Kilkenny with Richie Power. Power away towards the right, Kilkenny needing goals, and I think they sense that as well, and that one has been sent high. Good point. A very good score for Kilkenny. They really needed that sort of a score. Here we have an opportunity to see the score again, and a very, well, perhaps it's a morale boosting score for Kilkenny, but they need many more of those. Kilkenny grabbing possession and motoring forward now. This is a stylish run through and still going. Michael Grace away towards the right. Opportunity. Good save by Anthony Nash. Yes, he's done well. Here we see it once again. Kilkenny beginning to open up this Cork defence. Shot in and it's out from David Buggy. The resulting 65 so for Kilkenny. Knocked in, and that's a point picked off for Kilkenny. That's their 5th point. They need all those scores though. Ball breaks down. Kilkenny's Jamie Power. Power sending it through. Cork full back should have Liam Hayes. He's lost out though. And here comes Kilkenny's danger man, that's David Buggy. He's squeezed it over. David Buggy, the Iron Zone man. Don't be fooled, he may be wearing 31, but that is him. Kilkenny on to 6 points, 10 points still though. It's a big gulf between the teams in this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. Perhaps Cork are beginning to lose concentration. Daisy Fitzgerald sends this one high. It's also drifting way over there towards the left. Rory Doherty. Doherty playing it back, involving John Russell, the goal scorer of the second half. Here's John Russell. The advantage being played. Had to get rid of it, but not to a Kilkenny player. And that's who he's found. And Kilkenny's, well, bringing play forward in towards the heart of their attack. First out to it, it's Dermot Mackey. Mackey slipping it through. It's Eddie Walsh. Walsh reining in and goal onto the right side. Good save, and a very good one by Anthony Nash in there again. Cork are coming away with it, but Anthony Nash has produced two magnificent saves in this second half. Here's Michael Grace for Kilkenny, slipping inside John Crowley. A shot is in, and it's gathered on the fringe of the square as the Cork defence are put under mighty pressure. Ball comes out towards the middle of the pitch. Whistle sounds. Which way is the free going? I think it's a Kilkenny free. But here we see the effort once again from the stick of Eddie Walsh, but Anthony Nash making another tremendous save in that Cork goal. Kilkenny free. Colin Herity dropping a long one in towards the edge of the square once more. Outside, snapshot goes in, and that's wide. Jamie Power, the player connecting there on the Kilkenny side. Anthony Nash, well, playing exceptionally well in that Cork goal today. Richard O'Neill too, for his part, has played very well in the Kilkenny number 1 jersey. Upward playing, it's the Kilkenny full-back that's lost out here to Rory Doherty. Forward as far as Owen Conway, a shot, and that's left and wide. Oh dear, that had goal written all over it. Shane Lanigan beaten. Rory Doherty, as far as Owen Conway, had plenty of space. Goalkeeper was beaten, but the ball gone left and wide. Richard O'Neill's ball puck out to the far sideline. The advantage is with Kilkenny as they raid down the right wing. Good save, it's out for a 65. Anthony Nash, what saves he is making in this game, particularly in the second half. Out of the top drawer. Here we see it once again. Michael Grace, the player in possession, motoring down the right wing onto the right side. Plenty of power behind that one, but Nash got a touch to it. Colin Herity with this 65 for Kilkenny. Dropping it in and dropping it home. Kilkenny picking off another point. Well, that brings Kilkenny's tally on to 7 points, but still they are behind by 9 points. 3 clear goals between them. The reigning All-Ireland champions Cork in front. John Russell distributing this ball through. Ball smacked down in towards the right corner forward position. Owen Conway, and it's wide. Well, that must have went across the face of the goal. Was an in-rushing Cork player there as well, Rory Doherty, but he didn't connect. And so possession is back with Kilkenny and their goalkeeper, Richard O'Neill from Kilmacow. Here comes O'Neill, dropping it way down the field. Brian Phelan. Phelan onto his left, stroking this one forward. Drops some 40 yards out from the goal. Kilkenny are not going to throw in the towel here, you know. This one is sent in, and it's a point picked off for Kilkenny again. It might not yet be over. JP Corcoran with that score for Kilkenny that closes the gap to 8 points. Up he goes again. It's Corcoran touching it down. Kilkenny coming a long way out to gather it. The free awarded in favour of Eddie Walsh. It's a free so for Kilkenny. I'm sure they might just pop this one short. I think that might well be the instruction from the Kilkenny sideline. Their management team of Morris Power, Harold Stone, Tom Dowling, Pat Joyce and Michael Duggan. It's David Buggy so for Kilkenny. Will he go for the point or will he drop it short? Here he comes. He's going for the point and he picks it off as well. Kilkenny, slowly but surely, they are working their way back into this intermediate hurling final. They're not beginning to panic, and I think the Kilkenny supporters are sensing that there's a little bit more left in this Kilkenny team. Line ball for Cork, Desi Fitzgerald, that's stopped. Kilkenny have it, that's Jamie Power. Power through inside, here comes Eddie Walsh, another free conceded by the Cork defence. And they've been given away some unnecessary frees in the last 10 minutes or so. And the referee is looking for a name on this occasion. Meanwhile, Kilkenny will have a free. Liam Hayes of Dromina, the Cork full-back, that's been yellow carded by the way. Now, plenty of players lining up over this one for Kilkenny. But who's going to take it? And will they go for a goal? That is the big talking point here. It's Buggy that's going for it actually, and I think he's going to go for a goal. David Buggy, 6 on the goal line for Cork. Here comes the shot. Nash makes the save and it's swept away. It wasn't the most powerful strike in the world. Now long ball across, and it's away by Cork's Timmy Lorden towards the far side of the ground, and Cork claim possession and arrive towards the middle of the field. The advantage has been played. Slipped inside towards Rory Doherty, who gets the better here of Shane Lanigan. Here's an opportunity for Rory Doherty, and that is a very important score, or is it? It is. They were a little bit undecided, but the score has been given. Cork to 11, Kilkenny 9 points. Here we see the score from the Ballincollig full forward once more, Rory Doherty, and a splendid score on his part. Out towards the middle of the pitch, Kilkenny looking for possession. They badly need scores. Colin Herity. Herity has support behind. It's with centre-back John Costello. Costello launching this one through. There's an opening here for Kilkenny, and Nash a save at the expense of a point. He is making some of the greatest saves you're likely to see this season. There's the ball through onto the path of Michael Grace, trying to chip the goalkeeper, who did his job superbly. That wasn't a good connection, and it's out off the Cork player Brian O'Driscoll. This is going to be a 65 for Kilkenny. Here's John O'Neill dropping this one through towards the edge of the square once again. They're looking for something here at Kilkenny. A goal! Eddie Walsh. A goal for Kilkenny. Well, in fairness, it had to come. He couldn't keep stopping those shots, could Anthony Nash. 4 points between them. Game on. And remember, Kilkenny trailed by 13 points at one stage in this second half. Ball breaks down, and a shot and a goal by Eddie Walsh. Ball available there for either Cork or Kilkenny. It's not coming loose. It's grabbed now by Brian Phelan to JP Corcoran, already on the score sheet with a fine point earlier. Has to release it. He does now. Ball sent through, and that's a foul. Free for Kilkenny. Straight in front of the goal. Will they pick off a point and hope that there's enough time left for an equalising goal? Well, the decision resting here with the captain, though. Going for the point, and he pares back the deficit on Cork to just 3 points. It's all to play for Kilkenny. Well, it would be one of the great comebacks of all time if they were to win this one, or even draw. Touch forward by Cork. Possession vital. Sent forward by Darren Deneen. Out for Kilkenny though. Free awarded in favour of Sean Keeley behind there.
Additional time, I think 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Not long now to go in normal time, and a couple of minutes of injury time to be added. It's a free for Kilkenny in the heart of their own defence. Drive it, lock, I'm sure, is the instruction. Here it comes, John O'Neill. Ball breaks inside. The advantage is with Kilkenny. ball slipped into the path of Richie Power, keeping it alive, and it's wide. There was not much in that, but it's wide. Oh, this is one great match. Ball into the path of Richie Power. He did connect, and well, it was only inches wide of that right hand upright. Sideline ball for Kilkenny, brought down, and it's out for a 65. Came off one of the Cork players. Cork protesting, but it is a 65. John Costello to strike. Time is at a premium. It has to be short. It is. John Costello inside. Touchdown. A goal. Brian Phelan. This is unbelievable. Kilkenny claim an equalising goal. Brian Phelan of Clara. Goal puck out has been taken, and there's no time for a match-winning point for Kilkenny. They have come back from the dead, have Kilkenny. It's been the mother of all fightbacks. The game will go to a replay. We're hearing Kilkenny and Cork, a marvellous All-Ireland Intermediate hurling final, has finished in a draw. Cork 2-11, Kilkenny 2-11. A decent enough crowd in Thurles for this replay of the All-Ireland Intermediate hurling final. The big question is, did Cork miss the vote a few weeks ago when they surrendered a 13-point lead as themselves and Kilkenny finished in a whirl of excitement? The teams, well, replaying here this afternoon. The last replay in an All-Ireland Intermediate hurling final was just a short few years ago, back in 2002 in Tullamore. Tipperary and Galway, the teams involved, and Galway went on to win the replay. In terms of the Intermediate Hurling Championship, it's Cork that lead Kilkenny on that front by 3 titles to 1. And of course the Cats looking to, well, complete a remarkable Grand Slam this year in terms of the minor, under-21, intermediate and senior. This is the Kilkenny squad ahead of today's final. A quick look at their starting selection features Shane Lanigan at fullback. Sean Keeley, John Costello and John O'Neill are the half-backs. Richie Power and Colin Hershey have been named at midfield. The team is captained by David Buggy, and the full forward line for Kilkenny is that of Michael Grace, Jimmy Power and Diarmuid Mackey. Morris Power, Carl Stone and Tom Dowling, some of the people involved with the Kilkenny set up this afternoon. As we focus now on the Cork team, a new team of course from that which won the title 12 months ago. The full back line is that of John Crowley, Liam Hayes and Rory McCarthy. Timmy Lorton has been handed the centre half back position. Ty Healy and Jonathan Olden are chosen at midfield. It's Darren Deneen of Ballinhassig that will operate at centre forward. Rory Doherty is at full forward with Seamus Hayes and Owen Conway in the corners. The referee for this replay game, an individual with plenty of experience, that Carlos Padahern. The switch for Kilkenny sees Brian Phelan switched out towards midfield, partner Colin Hershey there. Up with the action, and this is Timmy Lorton for Cork. Left-sided strike, hurling it down towards Barry O'Dwyer direction. Cork do keep possession alive at this near sideline. Miss Hayes trying to seek out a colleague inside. Kilkenny have won it back as they try to weave their way out of trouble and succeed. Well, certainly looking back on the drawn game, Kilkenny's fight back that day was quite astonishing. Here's Brian Phelan tossing it through. Liam Hayes in possession. Cork's full back. Kamina bringing play pretty close to the far sideline, and that one indeed has been carried out over the line. The line ball is going to be for Kilkenny. The first winners of the Intermediate Hurling Championship were Wexford back in 1961. They beat London then 3-15 to 4-4. Right now it's the 2004 replayed final that's underway. Cork grabbing possession behind with Rory McCarthy. Feeding it out as far as the captain, that's Brendan Walsh. His attempted clearance has been blocked down. The advantage is with Kilkenny, Diarmuid Mackey. Still Diarmuid Mackey, the Mooncoin quarter forward, having a little bit of difficulty in holding on to possession. He's run out of space, and that's going to be a goal puck out for Cork. You see Anthony Nash An outstanding match he had in the drawn final, as indeed was the case for the Kilkenny goalkeeper Richard O'Neill. Cork winning a free through Jonathan Olden, their midfielder. The Inishgara player operating alongside Ty Healy at the centre of the park. It's a free for Cork. Here's the striker, Darren Deneen. Plenty of elevation, the distance is there, and that one is a good point. Darren Deneen, early score for Cork, that will settle them. It was a big free. The Ballinhassig centre forward. Line ball is for Cork at the opposite side of the ground here with Ty Healy. Here comes the cut, knocking it through towards colleague inside. That happens to be Darren Deneen. Well grabbed here by Owen Conway. He's gone away. Here's Conway onto his left side. That's a splendid strike. The Father O'Neill's man giving Cork a timely advantage here by 2 points. As we have an opportunity to see the skill once again of the quarter forward. Owen Conway, wearing 15, but would appear to be operating in the rightful forward position. That's a nice piece of fielding. Kilkenny away with John Costello. Allowing play to continue. Ball creeps through. Kilkenny gather possession. Jamie Power on his right side. Shot is weak. And Cork deal with it behind through Rory McCarthy. Feeding it away. Now Desi Fitzgerald involved. The free. Asher Hearn has awarded the free, and that is going to be in favour of Cork. Desi Fitzgerald, the player entrusted with taking this free. Still inside the early stages of this replayed final. Launched forward by Desi Fitzgerald down on top of his full forward line. Kilkenny touching it away, but it's Cork that win the ball. That's John Russell. Russell through towards Roy Doherty, unable to connect, and that's a wonderful save by Richard O'Neill from Seamus Hayes. More heroics on the part of the Kilkenny goalkeeper today. That was one heck of a save. This the resulting 65. As Cork look to increase their lead over Kilkenny. Desi Fitzgerald, the striker, looks to have put this one on target, and he has. So Cork leading Kilkenny. Early days though, 3 points to the good, are the reigning Munster champions and the All-Ireland champions. Desi Fitzgerald shielding the ball away from his opponent. Kilkenny still gather possession and toss this one invitingly through towards their full forward line. Kilkenny still looking for their first point of the afternoon. Perhaps they can score it with Eddie Walsh. They'll find support inside. Kilkenny keeping it alive. This is a good opportunity. Their captain, and he pops it over. David Buggy. It's been a while coming. The Erin's own captain inside the full forward position, it would appear. So we'll have an opportunity to watch the replay of the score credited to David Buggy. Free spots an infringement, and that's going to be a free for Kilkenny, marginally inside their own half of the pitch, with Cork holding on to a 2-point lead. It really is a lovely afternoon in Thurles for this game. It's Kilkenny now. They set about popping this one through towards their full forward line, I'm sure. Struck forward. It's going to drop in around the fringe of the square. Can it be kept in? It cannot. It's out for a 65 for Kilkenny. Protesting behind Anthony Nash. You'll see it again. Must have taken a deflection perhaps off Cork's Liam Hayes. Stroked in towards the goal. Yes, it's there. Kilkenny are on to 2 points. The difference between themselves and Cork standing at just 1. Richie Power doesn't miss too many of those 65s. Anthony Nash, his goal delivery, reaching the far sideline. Is that one out? I think it is. Came off the boot of John Russell over there. All means that Kilkenny have cleared themselves a line ball as they creep ever closer to Cork, who enjoyed a perfect start in front by 3 points to nil. Now they have been reeled in, only a point between them. Kilkenny dropping this one through towards their full forward line. Good defensive play behind by Cork, and this clearance is away by Desi Fitzgerald. It's touched down by Seamus Hayes. It's available now for Darren Deneen. Deneen onto his right side, stroking it through towards his full forward line. Something perhaps about to open up here for John Russell, and that is the side netting. It was a goal scoring chance. He went for the goal, but credit the goalkeeper Richard O'Neill once again. Here we see it, right down on top of John Russell, but the goalkeeper was alert to it, and he did enough for his opponent to shoot wide of the target. Anthony Nash bringing play beyond halfway. Quickly transferred through towards that inside forward line here for Cork. Seamus Hayes runs onto it. Still Hayes, shooting high, and he takes the point. Seamus Hayes, the lively corner forward, bringing Cork a couple of points clear of Kilkenny. Paul Costello, the defender on duty, and Seamus Hayes with the score. Down to the middle of the pitch. Kilkenny's John Costello sweeping this one through towards the right side. David Buggy has time here. He's already on the score sheet, and that is a lovely score. Yes, a fairly talented player is David Buggy. Don't be fooled by the number 10 jersey. He is playing at full forward, roaming out to the right wing on this occasion to gather it before stroking over a tremendous point. Between the teams of the moment. Maria Dwyer has fed this one forward. John Russell knocking it down the old stand side of the ground. Walk in possession, Seamus Hayes. He's sending it way over towards the opposite corner. Owen Conway going for a goal, and it's saved. Is there any beating Richard O'Neill? Well, it'll need to be one hell of a shot. Here we see the effort again on the part of Owen Conway, but a wonderful save out of the top drawer. Desi Fitzgerald looking to land another big score for Cork, directing it in. It's home as well. Cork gets some compensation from that goal effort, which was blocked, as they now lead by 2 points over Kilkenny. Brian Phelan smacking it down the opposite side of the ground as Kilkenny go in search of a point that would draw them within one of the Munster and All-Ireland champions. They succeed. That's a great response. There is the confirmation. 5 points to 4. Cork with that very, very narrow lead as we watch the rerun of that smashing Kilkenny point. James Masters now involved in the action for Cork. Launching this one through towards his full forward line. Kilkenny equal to the challenge behind as they come on the counter-attack. And look at the speed of this chap. It's Michael Grace that's away from Rory McCarthy. Still Michael Grace, difficult angle. Is it there? It is. There wasn't much between it and being wide, but it's a point that ties up this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. Replay of that. Here we see it again. Michael Grace scalloping down the right wing, sending over a very neat point. Rory Doherty for Cork, spreading it very much to the opposite wing. And his full-back is Shane Lanigan of Thomastown, sending play out towards the middle of the pitch. Nice take by John Russell. As support uses that, it's Jonathan Olden. Jonathan Olden, the midfielder, and Cork are back in front. Great point by Jonathan Olden. Here we see it again. John Russell supplying the pass, the Inishkara man, Jonathan Olden, and he picked off a very impressive point. Batted down by Jonathan Olden. A nudge in the back there. The referee has spotted that. It's going to be a free for Cork around the centre of the pitch. Referee Pat Ahern of Carlow just explaining why the free has been given. That Desi Fitzgerald is going to have another shot at goal. He's done well so far in this match. Should be within his range. Now John Russell is looking for short, what I thought for a moment, but right now it's free for Cork and Desi Fitzgerald to launch this one into orbit. Here he comes. Desi Fitzgerald sending it in towards the goal, and there was bit of hesitancy there, but the ball has been waved wide. So, no further scores yet for Desi Fitzgerald. Richard O'Neill with a long goal puck out, sending it through towards his half-forward line. Gathering it for Cork is Jonathan Olden, smacking it way down the right side. Kilkenny have possession. Paul Costello trying to get away from his opponent. That's Rory Doherty, who was sticking a little bit too close to him for comfort.
Additional time, at least 1 minute.
We're just hearing that 1 minute of additional time to be played at the end of this first half. Very energy-sapping afternoon. So Kilkenny with possession late on in this opening half. Free for the Cats. Struck downfield. Played more towards the centre. Richie Power. Way over on the far sideline. Richie Power. Oh, that is an excellent point. Richie Power. Well, an outrageous point, really. They're level again. 6 points apiece. Here we see one of the best points we're likely to see this afternoon, courtesy of Richie Power. Kilkenny and Cork, no separating the teams at the moment. The search is on now for the lead score at the tail end of this first half. Ball creeps through, advantage Kilkenny. Michael Grace gets away from his marker, and that's brought down by Anthony Nash, and a huge relieving clearance by the Cork goalkeeper. And that is the half-time whistle at Semple Stadium in Perlis. It's quite possible that extra time will need to be played to decide the destination of the intermediate title of 2004. But as things stand, at the interval in this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final replay involving Cork and Kilkenny, the half-time score has the teams level at 6 points apiece. John Russell has been switched out to midfield alongside Jonathan Olden on the Cork team for this second half. This is Jonathan Olden trying to gather possession. In the end it's with Cork, but this time it's Dara McSweeney. Dara McSweeney with his clearance down the far sideline. And Kilkenny regain possession. Bypasses Eddie Walsh. David Bucky's onto it. Looking for support, has it outside. This one sent through towards the goal, and Kilkenny are in front. Yes, an exciting start to the second half for Kilkenny. Colin Hershey supplying them with the lead score. Good pass by David Buggy, and a well taken point also by Colin Hershey. Long ball downfield. It really is a huge goal puck out by Anthony Nash. Trying to contain possession against a sturdy enough Kilkenny defence that are coming away with possession. Paul Costello. And the referee's whistle sounds. It's against Paul Costello, who is charging with the goal. Paddy Hearn of Carlow gives this free to Cork, and an opportunity for the Leesiders to level matters once again at Semple Stadium. Deneen will fancy his chances from this sort of a range. Here he is, stroking it down, and that is beautiful. Yes, a smashing point by the Cork free taker Darren Deneen to tie up proceedings once more at 7 points apiece. Goal could well decide this game. It'll be difficult though to beat the likes of Richard O'Neill and Anthony Nash. At the far sideline, Desi Fitzgerald trying to keep play alive. A couple of strong challenges going in there as well. And in the end it's Kilkenny that merged with it. This is Richie Power. Power doing well to keep the ball alive at the far sideline. Oh, that is an incredible point. It's not the first unbelievable score that he hit in this match. It's a pretty impressive one. Kilkenny edge that little bit in front of Cork. Here we have an opportunity to see the scoring again. Wonderful skill. Wonderful. Ball breaks away. Trying to gather possession with James Masters. Masters onto his left side, stroking it in towards the goal. There's an immediate response for Cork. That is a lovely score. 8 points apiece. Level pegging once more. Here we see the score from the Nemo Rangers clubman James Masters. And in fairness, we've seen some cracking points in this match. Richard O'Neill bringing play marginally beyond halfway. Kilkenny trying to gather possession inside the attacking 45. Eddie Walsh touched away. Still here for Kilkenny. Diarmuid Mackey, that's wide. Should really have been a score from Diarmuid Mackey. He wasn't on target this time. Advancing out, it's Anthony Nash with the goal puck out, planting it down the left side of his attack. Kilkenny gathering possession on, coming towards the middle of the field, looking for options. This one straight down the right wing into the path of Michael Grace. Michael Grace has it, stroking it towards the goal, and it's left and wide. So 2 quick wides on the trot for Kilkenny. Ball breaks away. A host of players looking for it. In the end, it's left to James Masters, or is it? Ian Turner is lost out, and Kilkenny with Brian Phelan eventually win possession. Poor ball straight to Barry O'Dwyer. Kilkenny recover. John Costello, centre back away, just towards the middle of the field. Under torrid pressure, a couple of Kilkenny players, the likes of Richie Power and Jamie Power. The result is that Kilkenny have earned themselves a free. As they introduce JP Corcoran onto the field of play.
JP Corcoran of Dundalk replaces number 15, Diarmuid Mackey.
Diarmuid Mackey, the player that has been substituted on the Kilkenny team, as the Cats line up for this free. Richie Power, the striker, here he is. Didn't connect as he would have wished with that particular one. Big scramble on for possession, and the Carlow man in charge of this game is looking for the slither, and he decides he's going to throw it in. There's been a lot of positional switches as well in this match, as Jamie Power is the player that's nursing an injury. Listed at full forward, but appears to be operating in the half-forward sector thereabouts. David Buckley is in there for Kilkenny. For Cork, it's Desi Fitzgerald. All thrown in. It's not cleanly won yet by anybody. Desi Fitzgerald trying to mop up play, so to Liam Hayes, and that is a free. Liam Hayes, the full-back. This Cork team looking to win back-to-back All-Ireland Championships. Anthony Nash, a long delivery by him, touched through towards the full forward line. Opportunity beckons inside. The chance is lost as Kilkenny smack this one clear out towards the halfway mark or thereabouts. John Crowley, nice ball to Jonathan Olden, quickly transferring it further in the field. And away for Cork goes Owen Conway. Conway with a shot that's high, and that's a well taken point. Owen Conway. Cork are the narrow leaders as we watch the build up to the score by Owen Conway once more. Good take by him ahead of Paul Costello. Weaved his way through onto the right side and straight over the black spot. Kilkenny looking for a response to level the game once more. Richie Power stroking it through, brought down, still very much alive for Kilkenny, and away they go. This is Jamie Power. Has he been tripped? No, says the referee. And Cork gathering possession behind with Desi Fitzgerald. Whistle is now sounded. And Cork have been penalised. Anthony Nash, the goalkeeper, being joined by 4 of his fellow defenders. Thinking about going for a goal. Richie Power is the striker anyhow. Richie Power taking his time over this one. Is he going for the goal? We'll tell you. No, he's going for the point, and succeeds in scoring a relatively easy point for Kilkenny, and a score that has them and Cork level once more, 9 points each. Nash, long goal delivery as ever from him. Cork have possession. This is Darren Deneen. Right now it's Barry O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer winding his way through against the defence onto the left, and that's well done. The Ballymartle player Barry O'Dwyer with a timely point for Cork that has them back in front. It's been desperately close throughout this replayed game here in Thurles. As we watch the replay of the point, thanks to Barry O'Dwyer. Kilkenny and the goal puck out taken for them by Richard O'Neill. Play at the far sideline gathered by Richie Power. Sean Keeley now involved in the action. Timmy Lorden, centre backs, moving it out towards the halfway area. And possession regained by Colin Hershey for Kilkenny. Richie Power losing out, and here come Cork, striking this one through towards their full forward line. Touched away, but still Cork are dogged as ever. They have possession with Owen Conway. Conway, this ball creeping through. Goalkeeper makes the call behind. That's Richard O'Neill. Feeds it away towards his fullback Shane Lanigan, and Lanigan hurls it out towards the middle of the pitch. Kenny and Eddie Walsh in possession. The advantage it out as John Crowley seemed to be impeding his opponent. Right now it's Kilkenny and David Buggy. Buggy onto the right side, stroking it then, but he's missed. That's gone away to the right. He pushed it. Well, it's anybody's game still. This All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling final replay. Kilkenny's new man in the second half, JP Corcoran. He spotted something here. Not quite so sure what he did see. Noel Doherty is also in there now at this stage for Kilkenny. John Deneen. Here he is. Should be within his range as he lofts it in, but left, and that is so unlike Darren Deneen. Missed opportunity certainly for the reigning champions. This play switches back to the Kilkenny goalkeeper from Kilmacow, Richard O'Neill, making the headlines once more here today. Well fielded by Timmy Lorden. Lorden sending this one into attack. Breaks kindly. James Masters. Still James Masters trying to get the better of his opponent. Masters dropping it in towards the goal. Yes, the umpires decide that it is a successful effort. Glorious point from the left wing. And that is a score now that has a couple of points dividing them. Cork with that 2-point margin. Watch this again. James Masters making an impression this afternoon, having been introduced earlier as a substitute. Richard O'Neill just beyond halfway. Richie Power, he's busy this afternoon. It's still Richie Power going through. Challenge comes in from Rory McCarthy, and that is dealt with superbly behind by Anthony Nash, the Cork goalkeeper. Well fielded once more by James Masters. He's gone away from his opponent. Still James Masters unselfish in his play and finds support, and Roy Doherty has slammed it over the crossbar. Kilkenny goalkeeper, I noticed inside Richard O'Neill, frustrated with his defence, having leaked the last few scores. The latest of those coming courtesy of Roy Doherty, scored from a difficult enough angle. Marginally on top of this stage in the game, and they do hold on to possession behind with John Tennyson. Touched away, now struck forward for Kilkenny into the heart of their attack. They fall towards Jamie Power, did for a moment, but Cork win it back, and Rory McCarthy needing support behind, and the Munster champions sending this one way into their attack right now. Again, Kilkenny and John Tennyson win it back. Strokes down the far sideline. Late challenge, I think, on Michael Grace. The referee has indicated that there's going to be a free. Free taker Richie Power sending it through. Jason Fitzgerald has one possession here, slides this one. Still gets in plenty of distance. Nice fielding, very good fielding. Kilkenny are coming again. through towards their full forward line, knocked away by Daisy Fitzgerald, and John Russell has been hooked from behind. Kilkenny regained possession. Battle is on for the ball down towards the left corner forward berth. Beaten to it was Eddie Walsh. He recovers. Here's Eddie Walsh. Still Eddie. Touching it back. There is an opportunity for JP Corcoran, and he makes the most of it. Kilkenny are on to 2 points. They trail Cork by just a couple of points. The game is still very much in the melting pot. Eddie Walsh back to JP Corcoran, and that is a well taken point. Goal strike now from Cork's Anthony Nash of Clonturk. Breaks kindly for James Masters, who's having a great afternoon in Thurles. And this one, though, a tad too short, and Richard O'Neill deals with it as he brings play out from that immediate danger zone. Cork and Darren Deneen. Deneen onto his left, sending it through towards his full forward line. A little bit of fumbling, but he has it. This is Owen Conway. Conway slips it away towards the opposite corner. Seamus Hayes, a shot goes in, a goal. Seamus Hayes, a goal for Cork. And that could be a deciding score in this final. Cork now lead by 5 points. As we watch the replay, the hit in was by Darren Deneen. Owen Conway took him a while. He did well. And wasn't that a lovely pass? And then he encountered a lot of problems with Seamus Hayes, but he finished very well. Big ask now of Kilkenny. How will they respond? Richie Power wins a free. In fact, he's been penalised for overcarrying the ball. So says Paddy Hearn. And this instead is going to be a free out for Cork. They've drafted their goalkeeper out, would you believe? Anthony Nash is going to take this. He could well score. It's not too often that you see goalkeepers on the score sheet. Going to be a little bit shy though. Drops in towards the 20 or thereabouts. Conway's lost out. Right now it's Rory Doherty. Doherty onto his left side, and that is well done. It's going Cork's way, okay, in this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling final replay, because suddenly their lead stands at 113 to Kilkenny's 10 points. Teams having been level, of course. Just to recap at half-time, 6 points apiece. This full forward Rory Doherty on the score sheet. Possession. Rory Doherty forced to release it inside towards Seamus Hayes. Did well. Goal scorer, of course, in this match, Seamus Hayes, melting his way through. Nice ball to Barry O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer is going through on goal to Owen Conway, saved by the goalkeeper again, Richard O'Neill. As a whole host of players lining up and struggling to gather possession. In the end, it's with Shane Lanigan. Paul Costello also involved in the action, and this is a free. Watch this save again. Barry O'Dwyer to Owen Conway, and he, well, produced a blinding save once more, did Richard O'Neill. O'Neill is out to take this free himself. Sends it beyond halfway. Kilkenny need a response quickly. They need a few scores, if not a goal, to ignite their challenge once more. Maintain possession this near sideline to Kilkenny. Eddie Walsh. Timmy Lorton hurling well in the second half for Cork. Away down the field of play. Breaks away. This is a useful player for Kilkenny. Paul Costello stroking to the far sideline. Michael Grace managed to escape the clutches of his opponent, and the end result is a free for Kilkenny. David Buggy lining himself up over this one. Needs to go over really. Comes David Buggy, he's going low, they're looking for a goal. Did it take a deflection? It's gone wide of the target anyhow. There was certainly a testing ball in there for the Cork defence. Anthony Nash striking this one upfield. Would be Corcoran touching it away into the path of John O'Neill. And they've also sent John Phelan into the action. Right now it's Michael Grace that's away. Rory McCarthy, the player closest to him, when that whistle sounded. It's going to be a free for Kilkenny and a booking, I would think, for Rory McCarthy. Yellow card. Striking across an opponent. That is the infringement, according to the referee there. At a turn of Carlow. Free stands for Kilkenny. Richie Power is going to take this one. Will he go for the point? Time is very much against them. Here comes the striker. He's launching it high. And he would have settled for the point, but it's wide. And that is a bad miss, really, from a Kilkenny perspective. They needed that, and they needed it quite desperately. Back with the play, and it's Nash with the goal strike for Cork. Sending this one downfield. Kilkenny keeping it alive and just looking it ahead of himself. Buggy, the captain, but he's lost out, and this is Cork and James Masters. Shot smothered. It's away by Kilkenny and Sean Keeley. Inside towards his full forward line. And back doing his job well, Rory McCarthy. McCarthy's clearance out the field. Really sandwiched in between three players, getting himself a free. The Cork player in Rory Doherty, he deserves the free in fairness. Found himself in a tight corner, okay. Fitzgerald. Almost 65 metres out from the goal. That one appears to be on target. It is. It's his third point of the afternoon. He scored two from, well, more or less 65s, and then from a 65-yard free, he brings Cork onto a goal and 14 points. They're looking good for the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling title. But one can never write off this Kilkenny team. Remember, of course, they came from 13 points off the pace in the drawn match to force this replay. Cork losing out and Kilkenny gathering possession behind. There's a little bit of urgency now about their play. At midfield, driven forward by Colin Herity. In as far as Richie Power, who started at midfield. John Phelan battle on for possession. Rory McCarthy seems to be winning it. Can he keep it in? That one is out. Be a 65 as the umpire makes his way out. Now Nicholas Murphy of Carrick Line has been sent into the fray for Cork. It's the 65 for Kilkenny, right down on top of their full forward line. This is David Buggy trying to find an avenue through. Shot goes in, a goal for Kilkenny. A goal for Kilkenny, and they needed it. Jamie Power closes the gap to 4 points. Here we see it once again. Buggy certainly made the catch, held on to possession, and it was Jamie Power that was available to his right. He just turned, hit a shot, and that was one great finish. The game is back on in Thurles, 4 points between them. Kilkenny has a spring in their step right now. Grabbed by Jamie Power, sent through again. It was aimed at Richie Power, breaks away into the path of John Phelan. Phelan has an opportunity and he's missed. Well, Kilkenny will rue many missed opportunities at the end if they are to lose, because certainly in the second half Kilkenny have hit some very poor wides indeed. Back with the play, Anthony Nash. Goal puck out, lands on the attacking 65. Kilkenny snapping at this one. It's been kept in play. JP Corcoran does well to release this one inside. The goal would really ignite this match. Richie Power away towards the right. Michael Grace foiled by Anthony Nash. He has it back, he's going for the goal, and that may have taken a deflection as it rebounds back into play. It's now out over the line. Well, it's all happening in this replayed All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. Here we'll see what happened. Richie Power gave it to Michael Grace. Goalkeeper did well, Anthony Nash. Here he is again. Shot goes in, and that came back off the upright. Line goalies for Kilkenny. David Buggy cutting this one across. Comes again towards Michael Grace, dispossessed and mopped up behind by fullback for Cork, Liam Hayes. His big clearance way over to the far sideline. Kilkenny regained possession, and John O'Neill. O'Neill, his effort through has been blocked and swept forward for Cork. It's very close to the far sideline. John Tennyson is there. And Kilkenny by no means are out of the hunt here in Thurles. John Russell in possession for Cork. Going away from a couple of opponents. It's into the path of Barry O'Dwyer, who has to work to control the sliotar. He still has it. This one is in towards the goal, and that is a lovely point. Smashing score by Barry O'Dwyer. And it's an effort that brings Cork 5 points clear of Kilkenny. Here we see the point once again from the stick of Barry O'Dwyer. He'll be pleased with his contribution this afternoon. John Russell wins a free at midfield. There from Brenna, who's now down injured. There is the confirmation, and with a 5-point advantage, it would appear that Cork can well win this intermediate title this afternoon. Daisy Fitzgerald with a free, sending it through. Ball breaks outside. Here's an opportunity, and that one has been rattled over. Nicholas Murphy from Carrigaline, the second half replacement, with the score. And that leaves 6 points between them, approaching the end of normal time with 2 minutes of additional time to be added. This is the latest score. Nicholas Murphy bringing Cork's tally for the afternoon onto a goal and 16 points. Around the middle of the pitch, the ball arrives. John O'Neill stroking it forward for Kilkenny into the path of Eddie Walsh. Cork though have won it back, and they quickly pop this one downfield. Kept in there by Paul Costello. John Costello involved. Ball travels outfield towards Colin Herity. Looking backwards there when he released that one. Touched away from Michael Grace, and it comes into the path of Rory McCarthy. McCarthy downfield. Colin Herity in possession for Kilkenny. Comes off Jonathan Olden. It's James Masters sending this one inside, and Kilkenny gathering it behind with Paul Costello, but he's left it. Chance beginning to open up here for Cork, and it's just taken away from them at a crucial stage. Kilkenny bring play beyond halfway. That one has taken a deflection. Kilkenny are thinking about sending Owen McGrath onto the field. Thinks though it's a line ball for Kilkenny and Colin Herity to take. There's the cut, plenty of height in it. Travels in a good bit as well. Trying to release himself from a couple of those Cork defenders, the Kilkenny captain David Buggy. This is going to be a free for Kilkenny, one I'm sure which they'd have to drop short. David Buggy, expect a pile driver, I would imagine. Here he is, takes a deflection, and the goalkeeper did well, Anthony Nash, because it did take a deflection before it arrived in there on the goal. Michael Grace, now involving Richie Power, surrounded by Cork jerseys. That's Jonathan Olden away. Kilkenny and Colin Herity. And support, needs that support as well. Ball sent forward by Paul Costello. And the clearance is away, and that is the end. Cork have won the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Championship replay final by 6 points. It's their 4th title, winners in 1965, again in 97, and last year, following a replay, they won this game by 6 points on a final scoreline of Cork 1 goal and 16, Kilkenny 1-10. Proud moment for Brendan Walsh, the Bride Rovers man and captain of this All-Ireland winning intermediate team from Cork.